Good morning, everyone. I am so glad to be sitting in this air-conditioned car. You guys don't know. I need some coffee so bad. I'm literally sitting here contemplating whether or not I would actually kill someone for a cup of coffee. That's like how bad I want a cup of coffee right now. I want some coffee so bad. But I got water. You know, if you got a cup of coffee, join us today. I'm going to warn you, though. I'm going to talk about the only thing that I can talk about right now. I'm tired of talking about it. I know y'all tired of hearing about it, but there have been some developments. Before I get into it, though, I want to thank Miss Wileen. You've been really generous. And Crystal, it's going to help us with accommodations for tonight. And I woke up 2 o'clock this morning real sharply. I mean, I really didn't sleep well at all last night. Last night was rough. It was. And then it was already so hot. And then I'm going through perimenopause on top of it. So the hot flashes on top of the heat, it was just so brutal. It was. And I had to keep myself humble and remind myself that, people are really, having it a whole lot rougher than I am right now, and to just do what I could to just get through it. My husband, I didn't think he would struggle as much as he did last night, but he did. He actually struggled a lot himself. I woke up 2 o'clock this morning. I mean, I only half slept off and on the whole night, and something said, check and see if you can find a room, because that was the reason why we didn't have a room yesterday. Dealing with the tree and everything and all the stuff that I needed to deal around the house. The time got away from me, and by the time I looked up, all the rooms were gone. Plus, I didn't want to just book a room and then the lights would come on, and then but apparently I'm not someone who's ever had to I may cancel travel plans before, but I've never had to cancel travel plans. And I didn't know that there are the better hotels have, if you just look around for them, they have free cancellation, but not all of them. So that's one of the things that I learned in this, is that when at least when you're talking about lights or something like that, or even I guess if you are traveling, make sure that the hotel that you book will have free cancellation. I didn't know that was a thing. I wish someone had told me that. And then I wouldn't have worried so much about wasting, about, being so on the fence about booking a room. I was watching the news on my phone, and in 2015 here in Columbia, South Carolina, Hurricane Joaquin hit, and it was a very devastating hurricane as well. And it caused the Congaree River that's the river that flows, north through the Carolinas. And it caused it to overflow so badly that it flowed into the Midlands and through creeks and whatnot. We have a lot of creeks over in this area. And it can cause flooding depending on where you are. And so I was so busy, so concentrated on what was going on this side of town. And with us, I wasn't really paying attention to the other side of town. And so when it got on my radar, they are basically on a flood watch, because all that water, if you've been watching the news, all of those cities you see underwater in North Carolina, guess where that water is going? People are able to touch the river from the bridges, some of the bridges, and people are, it's traumatizing when, imagine your home being halfway filled with water. And that happened to a lot of people, because when we came here in 2019, that was when we got here. And we noticed in some areas that there were some people there, but then a lot of units were missing, were closed down, and that was because of that hurricane. What was left over from that hurricane? That hurricane, mind you, it happened in 2015. We got here in 2019, and there were people still dealing with the effects of that flooding, and so people over by Broad River Road area are shaking in their boots. The fire department in KC is the next town over. They have them started to do mandatory evacuations, and so between mandatory evacuations, hurricane, what's going on, just dealing with the hurricane and no power, no lights, and then you've got the crews who have come in from DC and Texas and other places to help us out to get power restored. All those people need accommodation, so it is really hard to find a room. And so I'm glad that at 2 o'clock I picked up the phone, because where I managed to find a room, there were only one king bed left, and everyone else was, and the place that we prefer to go to, they were completely booked solid. And this was 2 o'clock in the morning. And remember when I told you that guy said get started around 12 noon when people start checking out? No, baby, you got to start early. You got to start the day before. But now that I know that I can do free cancellation, it's better. Now, some good news in all of this. I got an update from my electric company, and they're saying that power will probably be restored 95% of Richland County, which is the county that I live in, will be restored by Thursday, October the 3rd. And that's great. Today is Monday, September 30th. That's just a few more days that we have to deal without power. That is if everything goes as planned. I can't tell you how hard it is to sit in my car. Although I am thrilled for them. I am so happy for them. How hard it is for me to look across the street at all the porch lights on. Like, that side of the street has power, but our side of the street doesn't. They only lost power Friday for maybe about 4 or 5 hours. And then they got their power back. Remember when I said we got power back temporarily? Well, they were included in that. But then the tree fell on the next side and started that fire, and then it knocked out our side on back. So, and I gotta tell you, I don't know what kind of person that this makes me, but it goes to show that it is true what they say. You really cannot expect people to treat you the way that you will treat them. And, when you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Amazon product reviewer. I know I'm about to have a petty moment. Don't judge me. It's a lot going on. I'm a Amazon product reviewer. And that means that basically I just review products for free. And then I either donate them to, senior communities. I sell them if I think that it'll sell quick to help out with bills or stuff like that. Or I basically just give them away. And my neighbor across the street, I always, said that if you needed something, let me know. Now, I don't so much do the Amazon reviewing. I guess I could, but once we got our new phones, I couldn't get back into one of my Yahoo accounts, which is linked to my Amazon account, which is why I never know what you all are sending me until it gets here, because that's the one. So I just figured, I tried to get into it. I called them. They needed all kind, and the guy and their computers were down and all of that. I know I'm rambling, but this is me without any coffee, y'all. I need a little bit of a break. Give me some grace. And so they couldn't get into the account, and they were taking forever, and I just gave up on it. And, I have, given her some pretty cool things. And this side of the street does not have power. And when I tell you, if the situation were reversed, the way I would have sent her a text every single day asking her, do you have what you need? Is everyone over there okay? Is it anything that I can do for you? Do y'all need to charge devices? Do y'all need to anything that I can help you with? Because she's one of the people on the street that I thought I was pretty cool with. But it just goes to show you, I pay attention to stuff like that. I do. I pay attention to stuff like that. And maybe it's petty and maybe it's not, but had it been reversed, I would have looked out for her. I would have been a good neighbor. And I know I would have. So it does. It hurts my little feelings that we've been over here on this side of the street for 4 days without power, and she hasn't so much as sent me a text to say, hey, are y'all doing okay? Oh, well. It is what it is. But I'll remember it. And I will move accordingly from here on out. I mean, we were never overly friendly, but we were friendly enough definitely for that, to where I sent her mother, who's about 100 years old, and I don't say that to be funny. Literally, she's about 100 years old. Every year we've been here, I sent her a birthday present on her birthday. I've always checked in on them, made sure her mom was okay. One day the EMS showed up, took her mom away. I made sure that next day I talked to her, made sure I kept until her mom got better. Every single day I checked in. It is what it is. It is what it is. But hopefully we will get the power restored, and I did get accommodations for us for tonight. Now, it was kind of rough going last night. And then the worst thing that could have happened to me happened. Like my worst nightmare. We had candles and everything, and I could see and everything. And when I tell you, I heard something that sounded like a chainsaw in the distance. And I'm like, because you hear chainsaws all day, every day on the block. In the daytime, once people get up, you start hearing them dealing with the fallen trees that, have come down. And I said, who's up at, this early with a chainsaw? Man, turns out it was a bug in the house, and that is just how big and loud it was. And I thought to myself, oh God, it's dark. I can't see this bug. What the actual fuck? This is the last thing I need, because I'm scared of bugs. I am. I know I'm a gardener. I am, but I am from up north. We don't have all these crazy looking bugs up north like that. So, and a palmetto bug, they are native to the coastal states. Any coastal environment, even on the continent of Africa. I have a friend named Manson. He's African, and so he goes to Ghana back and forth a lot. And I was telling him one time, this is a couple years ago, about these big, they're basically outdoor roaches. They're just big roaches. And I was telling him about it, and we had a good laugh, and he said, yeah, you should see them in Africa. And I was like, oh my God, Manson, are they in Africa? He said, yeah. He said, at night when the moon shine down on the coastline, you see them, and that's all you can see is the backs of all of the cockroaches. Now, he from the motherland, so we gonna call a thing. He call them cockroaches. Here down in the southern states, they'll call them anything but a roach. They'll call it a palmetto bug, like here in this state, because we have these palmetto trees. A palmetto tree is just a smaller, like the palm trees you see in Florida and California. It's just a smaller version of those trees, and they call them palmetto bugs because they typically live in those trees. But occasionally, everyone in the South has, very intricate AC systems. They'll get in. One of them will get in, and every time one does, when I tell you, the way my soul tries to leave my body, and I got to pull it back in because I need it, but it be fighting me like, we is not for this. This is not our life. We not for this. When I tell you, man, I have some funny stories. about me and these palmetto bugs, man. And as a gardener, I tell you, woo, they have sent me running in the house more than once. But you have to keep like screens on your gate. At least I do. On all of your vents, I use these magnetic screens to keep them from coming in. So, I don't too much have a problem on the inside of the house, but every now and again. And that's what I thought it was, only that's not what it was. It was something else. I thought it was that. And it was when I got up close and I put like my camera flashlight up to the bug, because I sprayed it. I went to go get the bug spray. I sprayed it. It was horrible. My husband was like, what is going on? What is going on? And he's not afraid of bugs at all. Like, at all. He would have been a good exterminator. He is not. He won't even flinch. He is not afraid of a bug. Man, I am petrified of them. I just cannot do it. I like a clean, bug-free home. I just, I can't do it. I can't do it. Y'all don't know how happy I am to be sitting in this air conditioning car. If I just, I need some coffee so bad. I can't wait till we get on the road so I can just go get some coffee. I need some coffee so bad. Woo, out of all the mornings, this is not the morning to be coffee free. I need some coffee so bad. Y'all don't even know. So anyway, I got the bug gone. And then I got back. I was able to go back to bed with my hot flashes and my stifling southern heat. And that's another thing. If you're looking at me from another state, know that in the South, baby, it's still summertime here, okay? I know it's fall where y'all are, but in the South, it's still very much summertime here in the South. It's still high humidities, 80, 90 degree days. It's still very much the summertime here in the South. Yeah. So, yeah, those poor people. When we went to go look at homes, when we were buying a home, so many of the houses had been affected. People who had insurance were able to, deal with the problem a lot better. But those who didn't have insurance, apartments and townhouses, people, renters, they were deeply affected by that and misplaced. And so evacuations are going on today. And so, oh man, them poor people though. Them poor people. And and it's nothing that I could do because I'm not, fully together. And if I were, I could do more. But right now, it's all about helping ourselves. That's where we are right now. I can open that pantry up thanks to y'all, and now people really actually know where to come for food. So it's good in that respect. But that's as much as we can do. That's as much as we can do for other people right now. We trying to survive this ourselves. But they're saying Thursday, and so I'm gonna see what our money is looking like to see if we can get accommodations for tomorrow. What's today? Monday, Tuesday. Hopefully, it'll come on sooner than that. Because listen, and I know y'all saying 4 days, oh my God. It's a long time, but I now know a little bit more, because I'm like, we had a 2-week time frame, remember? And so I was like, 2 weeks. We realistically, we can't, keep going to hotels, and we can't keep, dining out. And I appreciate all of the, life skills that everyone has given me about surviving this. I mean, mind you, I am from Detroit, honey. I grew up around a lot of poor people. I survived the blackout. I know what to do to mitigate this crisis, I've got great common sense. Maybe y'all can't tell from my videos, but I do. I have phenomenal common sense. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I have great common sense. I really do. But the thing of it is when you're talking about people, when you're dealing with aging people, and I am aging, I have an upper respiratory illness. I have an autoimmune disease. It's different. It's different. It's different for someone like me to try to navigate this. It's different. So I know y'all mean well, but it's different. Okay. I'm going to soldier through this day. It's so weird that you can't check in until like 3 o'clock. I remember the days when you used to could just, whenever you got to town or whatever, you could just check right on in. But I guess, hotel staff does need time to clean and everything. And, but I think that if they have rooms ready, just allow an early check-in, because hotels do at least that, for people. If people have checked out and you have an early checkout available, let these people check in and let them rest, because people are not sleeping well. There's some people that are hungry, and like there are so many elderly. Oh my God, y'all don't know how I even didn't mention them. There's so many old people that are being affected by this. And I was reading their messages, and they were like, I don't have transportation. I don't have family. I'm sitting in the dark and I'm hungry. And right after I get there, I'm going to go back to that one lady, and I can at least take her some food. I can at least do that for her. I don't know where she is, but if she's on my community message board, she can't be that far from me. And so I can pack her up a good bag. I could put some books in it and everything. The books, by the way. Remember I told you guys those books, we cleared the books out of the pantry because we thought people would need books more. All those books are gone that were sitting on the eave drying off. So yeah, I didn't think that people don't have things to do, and so they want the books. So I'm going to put some books in there today. And I got, when I tell you, I got a shitload of books. I got a lot of books. So I'm going to put them in there. Some coloring books for the kids. Some coloring books came in. A lot of children's books. I'm going to put those in there because they're clamoring for those, especially during this emergency. And I didn't even put that 2 and 2 together. But yeah, I'm going to go back and I'm going to find that lady. And we've got Vienna sausages. We've got deviled meat. We've got crackers. We've got books. I can give her a lot of canned items like beef stew and soups and stuff like that. I'm going to ask her if she has a way of heating those. I don't know, but those other things don't need to be heated. I'll take her some peanut butter and some jelly. I got plenty of that. Thanks to y'all. But yeah, I know 23 minutes. I have really been rambling. I am so sorry, y'all, but it's been a lot. But we are surviving, and at least we have an estimation. That's the positive thing that has come since yesterday. I know that most likely by Thursday we'll have electricity. I hope what's happening to other people will not happen to us, and it already did when you think about it. But I guess these crews are so under pressure that they're making a lot of mistakes, and people are getting power only to have the power go right back off on them. But power is being restored. They're working. We've got out of town crews. They're doing their best. But the thing of it is, though, is they still don't get a pass, because when we're having these, because of global warming is why we're having these storms more often, and they're becoming more devastating. Wait till winter. The other side of the country is going to feel the effects of global warming then. And if you're not ready, get ready. Brace yourselves for that. I'm telling you, brace yourselves for that, because, global warming is not a joke. But because of global warming, I'm losing my train of thought. Man, I need some caffeine. When you're paying this much for electricity, this much for power, taxes, fees, surcharges, just anything that they can make up, that they are making more than enough money okay, for them to be able to have better power grids, better systems in place. And not only that, but the way South Carolina mitigated this emergency is shameful. It is. McMaster's did call a state of emergency on day one, but it took them so long to mobilize and get help for people. And Columbia, South Carolina is still not on the FEMA map. And there are women on the community board with newborns. They don't have diapers. They don't have milk. They don't have water. And they don't have power. And they're trying to get through this crisis. And Columbia was very deeply affected. But I told you why it was. We weren't on the map. But they didn't mitigate this crisis well at all. They really didn't. They could have done a lot better than that. But respectfully, and you can fight me if you want to, but I have lived in both, and I have traveled all throughout the United States. I have lived both in the northern states and in the southern parts. And let me tell you, up north, they are just more, and southerners have said it to me too. Up north, they are just more, things are just more sophisticated, I'll say. Mobilizing in all respects, even in activism, it's so much more together. It is. This was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. And again, the only reason why, we're not flat on our faces right now is because I have a following on both TikTok and YouTube. Some really nice people. Wileen and Shirley, again, thank you so much. You're helping us out with today's accommodations. I appreciate it. I'm looking at my lawn. At least my lawn is beautiful and everything because Chris did the lawn and landscaped the property while he was here, cutting down that one tree and hauling them off, and cutting up that other tree. It's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that makes me feel good. It's one of the things that just makes me feel good. I love that my home is lovely. And the trees are gone. Thank you so much for that. But if you would like to buy us a cup of coffee today, please feel free, okay? Please feel free. I will leave both my Cash App and my Venmo in those comments. If you would like to help us out with tomorrow's accommodations, I would not say no at this point. Because the way I have been humbled, we need the help. We do. We need the help. Y'all have a good day. I know I kept y'all long. I know this was a long morning coffee, not coffee session, but it's a lot going on and I ain't got nothing else to do right now. When I come back home, I'm going to open up the pantry. As it empties out, I'll refill it. About 2:30 or so, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go get us checked in. I told my husband to pack a bag. I can pack mine later. And I'm going to take a book. And this time, I keep saying I'm going to have a drink. I still ain't had that drink in all of this. So if you want to buy me a drink, that'd be good too. Y'all have a day. And just again, thank you for the prayers, really. And because we needed them, and I think that they got answered. I know it sounds like a long way from now, Thursday, but it's not 2 weeks. Thursday is not 2 weeks. And so I'm really intentional about looking on the bright side. And the bright side of things is it's looking like it won't be 2 weeks for us. The house is beautiful. I have a vehicle and the gas. We have accommodations for it tonight. We're healthy. I'm cool now. And onward march. Y'all have a good day. And thank you so much. Thank you.